Hey guys, this is Nexus HD, and today this is part 2 of how to build a UNSC frigate. I start by adding the 2x2 blocks here and building up so there's no gaps or spaces sort of on the outside and the inside of the frigate. Right, I'll continue just to move a few things around. Anyway, I put 2 struts at the front to make it symmetrical and make it look even. And then I start putting bridges around the outside because I'd use too many walls, I'd use too many blocks. And I wouldn't have enough money or anything else to use properly, and it's much more cost effective. Now here I could add some ramps in, but the ramps weren't made to what I wanted. They make it look scruffy inside, so I decided to add lots of blocks sort of around the outside just with a roof over it. Now here's a good technique with the magnets. If you want it to get it exact, duplicate them right together and to the place you want, and then you can delete all of them and get together. So I do that and go back to the front and put some railings in to make it so there's no gaps in the floor part, and I go back to here and I've basically done that. Later on with that'll be hidden as I'll finish it and I'll put ramps on that so it'll look smooth and whatnot. And here again I'll finish the front, and sort of that's basically the main structure of the bridge that you want on your frigate basically. And then look, see, it's all smooth inside, there's no bits sticking out or that look stupid when you're walking up it. So I go now and I start to add the rest of the walls around it. I'm adding walls and also a few windows, because if you don't add windows because of the new lighting system, it's pitch black inside. So this took a few minutes because I had to do edit coordinates, and eventually I got all the walls just where I wanted around the map, yeah, with a few windows here and there to let in sufficient light so you could see where you're going. So I continue that and it starts to look like a frigate now. I've got my main bridge at the top, my front, all my corridors, and my big sections for computers and whatnot. Because now Dominion, how you can add computers, it looks a lot better than Halo Reach, whereas you had to sort of make your own computers out of blocks and holograms and whatnot. But anyway, here I'm just perfecting all the little bits, going around, looking at it. And I thought here I'd kind of start again, because it looked too blocky this bit, so I decided I'd add these corner pieces to make it a lot more fluid, and plus this was yet again more cost effective. There's about 4 blocks, it cost me like probably 150, whilst that just cost me 50. So then here I used the edit coordinates to make it exact, because I didn't want, just because luckily the edit coordinates did work as the magnets didn't at this point, because they weren't sort of connected to anything in a way. So I started doing that and I get all the corners right and I finish that bit, and then I go on to the front and make the sort of front window that you can go and look out of. This was quite difficult yet again because of the edit coordinates and sort of the magnets as well, because if you start with them, because I got so many pieces all together, they start glitching and whatnot. Anyway, I decided to put a window there so you'll be able to look directly out to sort of where you're going, almost like a little sort of Spartan quarters where they can go and have a look out the window. I decided to put these 2 windows at the side to make it quite cool, so it's sort of like a 3D effect when you looked out. And yeah, and then inside I added a few bits inside and tried to put a roof on. So I thought, right, I'll use the Colosseum wall because it's the biggest, but as you can see it was too big and it just didn't feel right for me. And yeah, I went inside sort of under it and it wasn't right, to be honest, so I didn't choose that in the end. Yeah, there were a few bits that were sticking out, so I started to add and clean up a few bits so there weren't so many holes in it. And then I started to put the roof on, which is the main part you need. What I'm going to do, I'm not putting it directly to the corners, because on the corners I'm going to put some ramps going inwards, so it sort of looks like it's all smooth and it curves over to the top. I had all these ramps, I had about probably quite a lot around the outside, and that's in the next video. But this will make it a flat surface so I can work on it, and it's easier to create ramps and add different things and make it look more like a frigate. As I had these, I thought, right, I need to go inside this thing to like actually have a look at what it looks like, because I realised, yeah, it looks fine from the outside, but what if I can't go in the inside, or if it's too small, or if it's too dark. And as you can see, it looks quite good now, and now I go inside and just have a look round. So here I'm starting in the top right hand corridor, and in here will be the sort of control room, computer room type of thing. And I was going to block that up because there was really no need for it. But yeah, that would be where you'd be able to store computers or even vehicles if you wanted. Then this was the right hand big corridor as well, going all the way down. And then there's the steps to the bridge and the steps to the vehicle bay downstairs. Went up to the bridge, and yeah, it looked pretty good. I'd say that with a roof and a few of the Dominion things would look quite interesting. So that basically is part 2 of how to build a UNSC frigate. This will probably take about 6 parts, but I hope you like this, and you can find it in my file share on Halo 4. My gamer tag is Nexus NX, all capitals with a space after Nexus. Thanks for watching. Good night.